One thing's for sure, bait is not guaranteed here.
You got to do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's all yellowtail right there. Here they come again. Big old wad.
Oh, we got it. There's one sure thing about fishing amberjack. When you're not looking for them, they will find you.
Gonna get eaten by a jack right there.
Fight, fight, fight.
Real.
I wanted to catch a big black grouper. Whoa. Thing got crushed.
My name is Ali Hussainy. I grew up in Southern California and now operate the largest sport fishing website in the world.
Just another day at the office.
My office, not yours. I'm Rush Maltz. I got you. What you seeing? Florida Keys native and career fishing guide for the past 20 years. When I come out to California, you can let me catch all the 300-pound tunas.
Our passion is our profession, and we know there's more to fishing than just the catch.
We explore the people, places, and species that make up the culture of fishing. There's a few things I never leave the dock without. I always take a bonita, I always take a few blocks of chum, I always have the cast net on board, and I'm looking to catch some live bait to throw in the tank. All right, pal. Let's see where we can go here.
Here in the Keys, it really is a big live bait fishery, and that main live bait is pilchards. Almost every trip that we've done out here starts in the morning with getting pilchards and throwing the cast net.
Put one engine in gear. Looks like a little deep pocket right here we might be able to slide through. But remember, the wind's coming in our face right there.
I'll get above it.
So yeah, we'll go that way and loop back on them.
One of the biggest surprises once I started fishing out here a lot, and specifically with Rush, is how much bait they use.
So those three ingredients, live bait, chum, a bonita, you can pretty much catch anything in the Keys with those. Those three things build life. See what it does here is it beds down in this grass and you really can't see it. Unless it's like flipping or you see a flash.
It was flipping around those pelicans pretty well.
Yeah, it seems like they got them balled up there pretty good. Right there, yep. A little bit right, there might be a little shallow bank there. Slow down, this is like where we first saw them by this trap where they were flipping and stuff. So go neutral for a sec.
A normal day will entail throwing the cast net anywhere from 10 to 30 times if it's really tough. Sometimes you only get a couple of pieces and you got to throw, and kind of build up and see what you can get. One thing's for sure, bait is not guaranteed here.
Turn hard to your left or your right. Right, turn hard right.
Now can we go to the bait dock?
This is our bait dock. Got to work for him here, buddy. Catching bait's not an exact science. I mean, you could have it as figured out as you think you're going to get it, but there's different variables every day. Wind, current.
Yeah, just like any kind of bait catching, we say making bait on the West Coast, it's just unreliable. Sometimes they're just out of range, sometimes you can't locate them for a number of reasons, but it's so critical to a successful day. A lot of times you gotta spend 2 or 3 hours grinding it out and getting some bait in the well.
There's one thing I'll never do, and that's put a time limit on catching bait. You gotta have it. You're just cutting yourself short if you leave with less than you need or none at all. Just let the wind push us down kind of on this drift, and we'll try and wait for them to come up and flip for us.
Sometimes this is unbelievably easy, where you throw the net once or twice and you do what we call black out the well, where you can't see the bottom of it. And usually it's not that easy.
For Ali, catching bait down here is a little different. He's gonna pull up to his bait bar, a couple $20 bills, and they're underway. Here, there's no such luck. You're not gonna just hand over a couple bills and be underway. You're gonna get the cast net out of the hatch, get up on that bow, and you're gonna work for your bait. Couple more of those though will be good. Gotta stick with it.
After you threw that thing, they were coming down the freaking side of the boat like crazy. They are down now because you don't see them flipping. I don't see the pelicans on them anymore. They're laying in the
Oh no,
grass.
this is an educated school here. Once you start hitting them a little bit.
They know the program. Nice looking baits.
Oh, they're gorgeous baits. It is what it is. Some days it's gonna be easy, some days it's gonna be hard. You gotta do whatever it takes to get the job done, then go fishing.
Local knowledge is brought to you by Andros Boatworks. Adventure never ends. The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. And bdoutdoors.com.
Reel down to the water until it's rip and drag. Get 'em!
We're just getting started. We lost a day getting ready to go. When I think of Florida, growing up, or even before spending a lot of time here, I think of a lot of fly fishing, think of a lot of like bucktail type jigging, stuff like that. And it was really cool to see that really they're not doing things that much different than we do at home. One of the similarities that I noticed here after I kind of dispelled some of the myths that I had in my head about fishing in Florida was, chumming and building life.
The tide's definitely going east.
We think that we're the masters of live bait out on the West Coast because our fishery really relies on it, but here it's just as much a staple as it is back home. One of the things that they do here that we don't, they use the chum bag and they use sand balls as chum, which is basically a mixture of fish oil and parts mixed with sand, so the chum goes down to the bottom.
You have chum for scent, you have live bait for presentation. That's gonna be your most natural bait you could ever put out there. And you have bonita for cut bait, scent and presentation.
We build life at home typically by throwing live bait off the back of the boat and letting the current carry it away. That brings in the bigger fish right away. Here in Florida, they do it a little bit different. They start at the bottom of the food chain basically.
We'll put the bag in, just kind of build it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Let them find us. I mean, I know it's gonna be painful for you, but we might not even fish for the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just kind of build it. Let that life build underneath us.
Fine with me, man.
The way I like to fish down here a lot, I like to pretty much get set up, get the anchor down, start chumming, and start trickling some live baits out. What that is doing is building an ecosystem behind the boat.
One of the toughest things that he makes me do all the time, we get to the spot, we get anchored up, we're right on it, put the chum in, life's going, we've got fish everywhere around the boat, and he'll make me wait. And it drives me insane, but he wants to let that life build before we start stinging fish with hooks and maybe chasing off, some potentially bigger, more weary fish.
Before I even put a hook in the water, I'm just gonna feed the fish. I'm just gonna let that chum run out. I'm gonna watch fish behind the boat, eat a few baits. I call them freebies. If you throw a couple freebies out there that they've already gotten used to eating, now they're not gonna be as leader shy or as hook shy when you throw a bait with a hook out.
Whenever I travel and fish with other people, sometimes right off the bat I'm super impressed and I learn a lot, and other times I kind of watch how they fish and I think, man, there's gotta be a better way to do that.
Look at them, they're bumping into the boat trying to eat those pilchards you're throwing in. Look at them eating the pilchard,
look at
that.
Oh my God, look at them. They'll eat out of your hand right now. In the case of fishing with Rush down here, the dude's a pro. There's just no way around it. He does it every day in, day out. He's a smart guy. Over the years, he's kind of refined his tactics for what works best in his backyard. And in that situation, man, I put on the learning hat and I just want to watch what he's doing, how he's doing, asking questions, and trying to absorb as much of that as I possibly can.
So like for this kind of fishing, like wahoos, kings,
Toothy
mackerel,
stuff.
I like this long shank hook.
Okay.
It seems to,
That's really a tarpon hook or something?
yeah, it's their fly hook. It's Mustad's fly hook, but it works great for these, you know, wahoo, kingfish,
Okay.
any of that stuff. The bow.
Kingfish watch. Look at that horde on that jig.
What is it?
Oh, dude, I threw the jig once and there were 6 AJs on each other's backs trying to get it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What did I tell you earlier
Dude,
about these AJs? Oh, we won't be able to get away from them
I've
today.
been fishing long enough to know. I know it sucks.
Isn't that cool?
That's so cool, man.
I mean, that's what I say. You just settle in, put the bag out, throw a few baits out there, and just build it, you know? Let it build.
Oh, fold. Look, pull the hook on that guy again. There's a giant kingfish right here.
Is there?
Yeah, big one. Rush really has the recipe for catching fish down here. I noticed you haven't been fishing when all these jacks are around.
I'm chumming. Trying to build it. We're building it.
Chumming, they will come. And that all starts with the knowledge of the spots. You know, this place is very spot dependent. So he's got these reefs, he's got these wrecks, he's got little hard bottom patches that a lot of people don't have. And that's really the first step to that local knowledge that, you know, that makes him so successful down here.
You don't see too many 100-pounders around anymore.
The way these things are balled up behind the boat is just amazing.
I'm hoping we can get past these jacks. Sometimes, you know, when you're not looking for them, they're a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, isn't that how pretty much all fishing works?
How you doing there? You need a hand? Or
So
you
you're
good?
gonna have to leader this thing. It's gonna yank the rod out of my hand before I get the leader.
Oh my God, it's like Jurassic Park back there.
Dude, they're everywhere. They're all good sized fish. That big hook you can probably push out, but
There he is.
man.
There's one or two of them back there.
And he ate that thing a rod's length off the boat almost.
Woo.
I love amberjacks.
Man, if we can get past these AJs down, look at the meter there.
It is lit
60,
up.
70 feet.
Yeah.
There's some good fish down there, man.
There's one sure thing about fishing amberjack. When you're not looking for them, they will find you. Oh, we got it the first time.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in outboards, a choice. Now with the Evinrude E-Tech G2, you can choose unrivaled performance, superior fuel economy, and the cleanest combustion outboard on the planet. Choose from hundreds of color combinations to perfectly match your boat. And choose 5 years or 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com.
It's one of the most ancient forms of hide and seek known to man. And nobody knows how to play the fishing game better than the backcountry guides and offshore captains of the Florida Keys and Key West. Ready or not, here we come.
Local knowledge is brought to you by Mustad Hooks, defining fishing hooks since 1877. AFTCO, the American Fishing Tackle Company. Costa, see what's out there. And by Casa Vieja Lodge. Experience 5-star angling in tropical Guatemala.
Oh, we got it the first time. I was trying to take it away from him so we could catch the bite, and he had other ideas.
I hear an element of excitement over there. What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just no
Nothing to
disc.
see here?
Just no disc San Diego fishing. One of the things that I see with Rush that I really admire, honestly, is his work ethic. I think a lot of times when we fish, we get, you know, a little lazy. I missed the spot with the anchor. I'm not rigged quite right. Oh, this line's too light. We've all done it. Rush really understands what it takes to put fish in the boat, and he doesn't compromise.
That is cool. Look at that. That's just not jacks. That's the yellowtail.
They were half.
Bonitas. There's all kinds of stuff going off now.
There was a big old AJ, had half his body out.
That anchor's down there, and it's got 20 foot, a 3/8 chain, 20-pound anchor, and sometimes 600 foot of rope. It's not fun to pull it. It's not glamorous by any means, but is it worth it to get exactly where you want to be? Absolutely.
As soon as the life started building, next thing we know, there's amberjack everywhere. Really cool for me to see because we just don't get that much at home. I mean, sure, we get yellowtail to swarm the boat or whatever, but at any one time, you can look over the side of the boat and there's a dozen 20 to 40 pound fish just waiting to eat anything. I mean, they were so whipped up. That's a big old SOB, huh?
A lot of times when I'm anchored up and fishing a couple flat lines and bottom fishing, I like to send a kite off. It's just another way to spread another bait out. It's gonna get eaten by a jack right there. Awesome.
Awesome.
And this is where I resign. Ali,
I'm good, buddy.
hold this for a second.
Nope, negative.
Yeah, we've had to have caught all the amberjacks. Oh, thank God.
You're on a spot where you're catching an amberjack, a kingfish comes by, you catch him, a sailfish swims down the boat, you can catch him, you know, even a dorado or a wahoo. But 100 feet below you, you've got snappers and groupers that are eating that same chum, that are attracted to that same ball of life, and you can catch a bottom fish in the same spot you can catch a wahoo.
Excuse me there, buddy. Let me come underneath you real quick.
What do you got?
Amberjack or...
Congratulations. It's amazing the amount of life you guys get here when you just set up, chum
Isn't
for a
that
bit.
ridiculous?
And where does it come from? I mean, just out of the blue.
You know, you get a little current, start putting a little bait in the water.
So cool, man. That was on a chunk?
No, that was on a pilcher.
These guys didn't look like picky eaters when they were around the boat. Come here, buddy. This isn't gonna hurt at all.
Oh yeah. You want gloves?
That would have been handy about a minute ago.
Man. There you go. Thanks, buddy.
Probably need a de-hooker. And it just flopped out into my shirt.
Perfect hook set.
You want to take this one for the smoker?
Nah, we'll let them go.
Yeah.
They'll crush your hand a little bit.
Yeah, no, I haven't really heard of that.
No?
One of the things that they always did on Florida fishing shows, which I never really understood, was what they call yellowtailing.
There's a little tiny piece of bonita there,
Okay.
little lead head.
Is that the yellowtail ticket right there?
If it gets past the yellowtail, I've caught many a mutton on these little jig heads right here.
Up this high?
Oh, the muttons will come right up to the top. get in the
Really? See,
chum.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that yet. That'd be cool. That is
yeah.
still, I think, my favorite fish to catch back here. I love those big muttons, man. Those are so cool.
Have you ever caught any?
Once or twice.
Must have gone out with a pretty good guy.
I fished with this other captain a lot. Yeah, he was really good. Yellowtail snapper is the absolute staple fish for all of Southern Florida restaurants.
The reason the yellowtail are so sustainable is because it's a hook and line fishery. That's all yellowtail right there. Here they come again. Big old wad. Pretty good yellowtail bite, huh?
Yeah, it's once you get down.
That's a nice yellowtail there.
These are little fish from like under a pound to a real big one would be six pounds or so. Like you were saying, for a little fish, it's really incredible how hard they pull.
You can even imagine what would be going on if that tide was flowing behind the boat.
Really?
We call it the Yellow Brick Road. So we have a little saying down here. It's called the Yellow Brick Road. What that is when the fish come up to the top and you're looking behind the boat and all you're seeing is gold.
That is a fat one. Because they're so abundant, these yellowtail snapper are not just on the menu for us, but just about every big fish that swims down here.
Not all yellowtail make it to the box. Sometimes some of those yellowtail go back down with an 8-ounce weight attached to them.
Bite, bite, bite.
Real.
As close as you're gonna get to a sure thing for catching billfish is Casa Vieja Lodge.
They're here, man. This has been a 20-year run, buddy. These things haven't left, there's no cycle.
When it comes to sail fishing, this is the real deal.
The amount of sailfish here is ridiculous. We're just getting started. We lost a day getting ready to go.
BDOutdoors.com is your one-stop source for all things fishing, boating, and outdoors. Stay dialed in with current fishing reports, breaking news, and our extensive library of how-to tips. You'll learn about rigging, fish cleaning, boat maintenance. We have recipes for seafood and game, cutting-edge videos, and gear giveaway contests. It's all free at BDOutdoors.com.
I wanted to catch a big black grouper similar to what we saw when we were diving. Job number one was catch a yellowtail snapper. Job number two was get him on a big reel and rod and send him down.
Get him close to the bottom. And don't let him sit on the bottom.
Okay.
Bring him up 20, 25 feet.
Once we did that, it didn't take long, maybe 10 minutes, and that thing got crushed. Bite, bite, bite.
Reel, 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 reel. Get him up, get him up, get him up. That's a black. That's the one. Don't straighten it out.
Looks sharky. Oh, that doesn't look sharky though. Oh, it's a little surgy, not so dead weight. That's a grouper, dude. And I mean, it doubled over that big, heavy trolling rod, and you could see that grouper was trying to get to his home with everything he had. Whoa. Oh, it's a shark.
No, you think it's a grouper?
Surgy like a grouper.
Is it? Heavy?
Heavy for sure, but.
It's a grouper, it's a big one, buddy. Good luck.
Good luck. Oh! And I got broke off. I think I had 2 more cracks using yellowtail for bait, trying to catch a big grouper. I put a bigger hook on.
Yeah.
Today just wasn't my day. He didn't make it back to the hole. He only got 10 feet of line.
You're a lot better grouper fisherman in shallow water. At the end of the day, if you got a ton of bait, you've been fishing a spot for a while and you want to try and target something different, just make a little move.
And in this case, we got to try something that I haven't done much of here, which was drift fishing across some structure.
That machine is lit up right now.
Is it?
Taking line?
That crazy. It's just heavy.
Coming up high?
No, I was just scoped out a lot.
Probably a nice mutton or a grouper. Was he coming at you and then just started taking line?
Dude, I don't know. No, because he was heavy. It wasn't like he's not doing what he was. I mean, you saw the heat he was putting on this thing.
If he's floating, you got yourself a nice one. Oh, something had him. Well, it could have been a bigger grouper too. I mean, he's totally scaled.
Well, I feel a little bit better now.
Somebody sucked him in all the way. It'd been nice to see what had him.
I know, man. I would have killed. I'm like, how the hell was that little grouper pulling like that?
And a lot of times when you're fighting a smaller fish, there's a really big fish who's gonna come eat that smaller fish. You'll think you got a really big fish on, but it's not the case. He had him in quite a ways too, you could see.
Oh yeah, you can see the line stops way up here. Dude, you guys
God,
have got, that stuff doesn't happen in California.
No?
You don't have a monster grouper eat your grouper.
I don't know if he'll make it. He's been skinned alive, but we're gonna let him roll.
Is he short?
He's short and out of season.
All in all, this turned out to be an awesome trip. We've gotten to a point now, me and Rush, where we're fishing so much together and down here a lot. I'm really getting the hang of this Florida thing and I'm really enjoying it. That kind of feels like my main man, mutton.
Feel like the mutton man?
It does. I enjoy helping pull the anchor. I enjoy helping to chum. I enjoy, all that stuff, helping Rush make bait. There is life 100 feet off that bottom.
Oh, you should have seen the screen 5 minutes ago. It was insane.
Crazy. It's a good time. It's more skills in my toolbox, and it's definitely stuff I'll put to work back home or wherever I'm fishing. So now with a box full of yellowtail snapper, man, I'm ready to eat some. And that reminded me of a bet we'd made recently. I will bet you dinner at the Square Grouper. The deal was whoever caught the most fish in Guatemala had to buy dinner for the whole crew at the grouper. And it was a tight race. Rush and I were neck and neck on sailfish, but as a side pot, we put 5 points on whoever catches a blue marlin. Woo!
We were fortunate enough this time we fished to have some really nice weather here in the Keys. And this time I think I was really fortunate to show Ali what preparation and just knowing what you're doing down here can do for you. It's the payoff. I think he really got to see some exciting fishing this time that he could take back home and tell his boys about.
Throw your copper card in there. Silver.
It's just not right.